Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now October 12th of 2021. Now, ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2 and The Bad Batch, a lot of fans around the world have been very curious about what's really going on behind the scenes between Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, Bob Chapek, and what they really have planned up their sleeves when it comes to the new Star Wars universe moving forward. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. We do a lot of fun and exciting things on there, interact with you guys further, and just have a lot of fun at heart. So, with that being said, we do know that Star Wars as a whole is really an ever-evolving process, right? What Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing right now is that they are making sure to drag in tons of Star Wars Legends material and mixing it in with the new. So they're trying to stay as accurate as possible to the old highlights of Legends and kind of mixing in the new with that. And I like that idea. It kind of makes things familiar, but at the same exact time, very new at the same time, right? So characters like Mara Jade, we have, of course, Ezra Bridger coming into fruition from Star Wars Rebels. That's really going to be a big deal for the fandom. I think that obviously Jon and Dave, they really know exactly what the fans want, and that's exactly what they're delivering. However, one thing that a lot of fans have been very much questioning about has everything to do with the Star Wars movies, right? That's exactly where Star Wars belongs. Now, mind you, I do love the Star Wars TV shows that are currently planned, and I like the idea of Star Wars being a TV show-focused brand, but there's nothing better than Star Wars being in the movies, going to the theaters, sitting in your seat, and experiencing it with real people in real time. You can never beat that experience, ever, ever. So, everything that has to do with Disney CEO Bob Chapek, great things are really happening as we speak. So now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently developing tons of Star Wars TV shows for the Disney Plus platform, they are also focused on also keeping the Skywalkers extremely relevant in the new Star Wars universe for as long as they can, in order to preserve the hardcore fans that have been around since the very beginning. Now, as of now, Disney CEO Bob Chapek is making big plans for the future of the Skywalker saga and where it's all going to go. However, it's described that both Bob Chapek and George Lucas for the past number of months, since June, have been going over serious plans for a Star Wars Episode 10, 11, and 12 in order to give it one last shot at ending the Skywalker saga for good in theaters. Now, it's described that Chapek and Lucas have a serious plan about continuing the episode films, and that they have one major plan in mind. That is, of course, to make an official announcement for the new trilogy by the very end of 2023. Now, further, it's described that Lucas is the one who pushed Chapek to push for the new Star Wars episodes that would expand the Skywalker saga by exploring the character Cade Skywalker, who is going to be a combination of a Jedi, a scoundrel, and a bounty hunter. This plan for the new trilogy announcement is happening at the very end of 2023. Now, of course, this major plan is actually being planned for Disney Plus Day that is going to unveil the planned release dates for the new Star Wars movies that will allow Disney to give it another shot at doing great things with the Skywalkers at heart. Now, though sadly these stories won't have much to do with Luke Skywalker alive and well, but rather a descendant of the Skywalkers that goes by the name of Cade, who will actually explore the stories of the Skywalkers' past. Now, George Lucas has had this idea that Star Wars should be like a hour clock, where there are 12 segments in the Skywalker saga that goes full circle as the fandom can experience this. Now, though Disney is very optimistic about this approach, their plan to actually not make an official announcement until 2023 stems from the fact that they don't want to overlook the planned Star Wars TV shows that are set to also make the fans very happy as well. However, Disney is said to already have plans for when they want to drop the new Skywalker saga trilogy that will end it all for good this time, and will be served as a fresh start to the series. Now, Bob Chapek's plan is to not play things safe like how Iger did with The Force Awakens. You guys may recall that Iger played things safe with the themes of Episode 7 being similar to A New Hope. Chapek realizes that playing it safe from the beginning set the trilogy up for a failure, and that now they will be doing something new for the franchise moving ahead. Actor Garrett Hedlund of Tron Legacy is said to still be up for the role of Cade Skywalker, given that he is already affiliated with Disney and that this was a personal choice and decision by George Lucas himself. Now, the plan is to make the new trilogy take place around the same time the sequels did after the originals, around 30-some years after the events of Episode 9, that will leave enough room to explore a new Jedi Order, new foes, and more. So, the thing about Episodes 10, 11, and 12, also additionally from, apart and separate from all of that, is that they're planning to actually make Cade and Jaina Skywalker. So Jaina Skywalker is going to be loosely based off of Jaina Solo, and they are going to be the children of both Ben Solo and Rey Skywalker. Now, here's the thing about this, is that this is their plan to actually continue the Skywalker bloodline. And obviously, the true Skywalker bloodline stems from Ben Solo, because Rey is not really a Skywalker at heart by blood, right? So, when we go ahead and look at everything of what George and Chapek are planning, it really does make you wonder, when in the world are these new episodes going to drop in theaters? We still have no clue, we have no idea. It could be the late 2020s, obviously, for all we know. The other thing that I think is very important that a lot of fans absolutely need to know is that November is going to be a big month every single year from this point on forward. Disney Plus Day is going to be a brand new event where they're going to be announcing new TV shows and new movie announcements. It's not just about the TV shows, it's also going to be a platform or a launch pad to give them the opportunity to not just make announcements of what's coming on Disney Plus, but also what's going to be arriving for the Star Wars lore, the books, the novels, the comics, and even the movies at heart. So, I think that Chapek really is on his A game. He's really kind of making up for all the mistakes that Iger did with the sequel trilogy, and what Kathleen Kennedy also did with the sequel trilogy films. Honestly, I think that this whole era that I usually like to call the Kathleen Kennedy era of Star Wars was just a big bump in the road, and now we see everything shifting back. We see that John and Dave are really the true saviors of the franchise, along with George Lucas, but Bob Chapek is really running the show. He is the Disney CEO that's allowing all of this to really happen. If it were up to Bob Chapek, if he didn't want this to happen, he would have kicked Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni off right away. So, I think that obviously things are moving in motion very well for the positive, and I think that once we arrive in 2023, which is when they plan to announce these new movies, we're going to get a better idea, of course, of what the fandom is going to be like at that point in time, how very well reunited the fans will be by shows like, of course, Star Wars Kenobi, Andor, Ahsoka, that's going to drop in 22 to 23. So overall, guys, I would like to hear what each and every one of you have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.